Still in the dark is correct. I'm here at the Crystal Lake Apartments, and this area of the apartment complex is still without power. I actually want to take you guys inside. We're going to turn off the light on our camera so you can see exactly how dark it is in this apartment complex. Just a year ago today, this parking lot was filled with crime scene tape. You can see that someone has left a candle on the scene to remember Danny and his life. If you or anyone you know knows what happened to Danny or any information, spoke with two students today that are in his homeroom class. They say they see him in the halls each and every day. On Oak Street and 5th Avenue, and as you can see right behind me, there's a tree down on this entire street. Now, I just left from inside, was speaking with the Hancock County Sheriff's Office. Dozens have lined up to vote with about an hour and a half left to cast their ballot. It's been all night, all day. This is the worst it's been. The lights are out. At Southwest High School, where 19-year-old Sabrina Long went to school before she disappeared. Peach State wouldn't be the Peach State without a winter season. Ones behind your 911 calls are the first responders. Just at one of the many checkpoints that are set up all over the Warner Robins City. Jalen Patrick, a Bibb County inmate, escaped while on work detail, and he's been gone ever since.
If I get up in the morning and I know what today is, and I know my name, it's gonna be a great day.
51-year-old Arthena Caston, a wife, mother, and grandmother, was diagnosed with Alzheimer's less than 8 months ago.
And he called me, my husband, and on March 23rd, we went to his office, and he gave us the diagnosis. And that was the day.
The day her life changed forever.
All I thought about with me was this is where I'm gonna be, the same place my father was, where he didn't know me.
Arthena's father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she remembers watching him slowly fade away.
I didn't think anything else about Alzheimer's. I didn't think anything else about dementia. I just thought, I'm gonna be at the place where I don't know my grandbaby.
Caston told me she wishes that it would not have happened to her.
It's a lonely disease because it holds you in.
A disease that can be passed down from generation to generation, according to family medicine doctor Jayesh Patel.
Most people, when they come to a doctor for a diagnosis of dementia or a treatment for dementia, they look for an answer in the medication. Unfortunately, answer is not in medication.
Patel says cognitive and physical exercise is most helpful. Caston had to retire after her diagnosis and leans on her family during her battle with this disease.
It always brings a tear to my eye when I think about not being there with them.
As this slow, progressive disease begins to affect Caston, she has one message for her family.
I want them to know that even though I might not be the person that they want me to be, the person that I am, I love them more than anything.
Put my hands around his neck and squeeze his neck and let him see how it feels, how he did all these women's.
Eddie Smith lost his sister over 30 years ago when she was killed by a man who has since confessed to killing 90 women. Smith, for decades, has waited for answers, and nearly a week ago, he received that phone call.
I want to talk to you about Fredonia Smith. And I said, yeah, what about her? Well, we found the guy who killed her. I said, don't thank us, I said, thank you, Jesus.
Smith says since then, he hasn't been able to sleep.
It brought back a lot of memory, a lot of bad memories. You know, I remember the day after the funeral. You know, I remember running in this house.
Smith says he remembers Christmas, one of the best times for his family, and this is no coincidence.
That's a big gift, but it hurts still.
For over 3 decades, Smith held a grudge towards the wrong person he thought killed his sister.
The person I owe an apology to is my sister's boyfriend at that time. All the years I thought he did it.
But that wasn't the killer. Fredonia Smith was murdered in 1982 by Samuel Little, a serial killer, one that has killed from the East Coast to the West Coast, according to Bibb County Captain Shermaine Jones.
He's at a body count of 90. In United States history, that's hadn't been heard of.
During Little's confession, he gave details that only the killer would know.
Little was able to give information about where they were sitting when the incident took place, where he dropped her body.
Little is already receiving life in prison. Jones says he won't see the light of day.
You can add time on time, but what's life on life?
Smith says he would love to look his sister's killer in the face and say,
Tell him my sister's name. And she had people that cared about her, loved her.
Nearly 90 families across the United States are finally receiving closure.
We all have something in common. We lost a loved one.
Now the question is, 36 years later, why did Little confess?
He might die soon. You know, maybe that's the reason he came forward with all of this, trying to clear his conscience.
Smith said Fredona was a loving person who loved kids and was still a child at heart, a child that died fighting to the very end.
I asked was my sister raped. They said no. They said that she fought him. He said that my sister was getting the best of him.
Good evening and thanks for watching this late edition of WGXA News at 10. I'm Jayla Whitfield. Eric Mock has the evening off. Now, more than 100 gambling machines were found inside a church in Houston. Firefighters made the discovery after responding to reports of a fire inside the Word of Life Church Friday evening. New tonight, the campfire in Northern California is now 100% contained, but county officials made the announcement Sunday morning. The campfire started November 8th near the town of Polga. It killed at least 85 people and is now considered to be California's deadliest fire. Developing now back-to-back earthquakes measuring 7.0 and 5.8 rocked buildings and shattered roads today. Our weather team has issued a weather warning days ahead of our next storm system. Meteorologist Matt Mackey joins us live in the Weather Center. And Matt, we could be dealing with some wintry weather this week.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes with that storm system that will be making its way through the southeast on Tuesday.
Well, new tonight, an 11-year-old is behind bars after threatening violence to his school on Instagram. The convicted killer, who Texas officials say could be the most deadliest serial killer in history, has confessed to more Georgia murders. Samuel Little will spend the rest of his life in prison for murders in California. He's also given law enforcement key details that link him to the more than 90 murders across the country. Well, check this out. These students want to welcome visitors to the A. 1 million people are expected to be in Atlanta next week for their Super Bowl on Sunday. Congress has approved a short-term spending bill to end the government shutdown. For now, President Trump backed off his demand for billions for a border wall, but threatened to shut down the government again in 3 weeks if he doesn't get the wall funding. ABC's Kenneth Motion has the latest. Cold weather and possibly a chance for snow tonight. Matt, we've been hearing for days now that there's a chance for the white stuff. Is that still true?
It's not a sure bet, but the possibility remains that we could see a couple snow showers mixed in with our next storm system. That would be Tuesday.
And one Macon teen is behind bars after being charged for a car break-in this week. According to deputies, the break-in happened Wednesday when deputies responded to Bain Street for entering auto. Now, the teen was identified by her social media accounts. The 17-year-old is charged with 1 count of entering auto. Well, for you married people out there, this holiday is just for you. Today is National Spouses Day. If you're married, nationaldaycalendar.com suggests spending time with your significant other, reconnecting, saying I love you. Now, a nationaltoday.com survey of more than 1,000 married people found the top reasons people appreciate their spouses. Number 1, 60% said their spouse is a hard worker. 2, 56% said they can be themselves around their spouse. And rounding out the top 3, 56% said their loved ones make them laugh. Now, what do y'all think about that?
I think that if you're married, every day is supposed to be National Spouses Day, and I think most married folks would agree with that.
That's a very good answer.
That's
That's
right.
good.
Well, Valentine's Day is coming up, so you know.
It is coming up.
That's kind of
fitting.
And I do have it on good authority that Miles Garrett does not have a spouse. He is single, ladies. So,
Folks, find us on Facebook. Miles Garrett, WGXA, Macon's most eligible
Got me covered.
bachelor.
Well, thanks for watching WGXA News at 10.
Stay tuned. We've got 2.5 Men coming up next.
have a great night, everyone.